Now we're going to deal with the order Peramelemorphia. You might remember that name. It might ring a bell with you from the reproduction letter, because these are the bandicoots, Paramelidae, family Paramelidae. They're in an order all by themselves. And here we're dealing with one species, Perameles nasuta. Although there are about 20 species in supposedly 3 families in the group. And we've got a bone clone here from one of them. They all have long, elongated skulls, pretty odd looking skulls here. Well, odd, I guess, is a bit unfair, but again, here you see that trabosphenic-like molar hair on that upper skull. But look at the position of those canine-like teeth. They're way back from the incisors. Have you any guess as to the diet of these animals as we'll take a quick peek here? You should be thinking about that whenever you pick up a skull. Be thinking of the diet of the organism. And here's the lower skull. Again, like the numbat, it's got a long 10 lower jaw. Then it's got those 2 funny canine-like teeth that are back from the front of the lower jaw. Now again, remember what I said earlier about that inflected lower jaw, or the inflected angular process? There you see it, very much so. So if you were to see a skull like this and you say, oh, this must be an insectivore, like a tree shrew or something like that, which is a placental or a eutherian mammal, but then you see that inflected angular process, right away you say, aha, that's a marsupial. That's got to be a marsupial because it's got an inflected angular process. Eutherian mammals don't have that. Okay. Bandicoots are omnivorous. They eat pretty much anything. They're invertebrates, insects, grubs, fungi, whatever they can get. There are about 20 species of them. One of the more interesting species, according to the lab manual, is presumed to be extinct from introduction of European red foxes in Australia. That's not the only thing that's introduced in Australia. Was the European rabbit has caused havoc in Australia. They actually introduced disease to try to get rid of it. Now, do you all remember the type of placenta that the bandicoots have? They're unusual amongst the marsupials in having a placenta that's similar to eutherian mammals. It's the choreo. Allantoic. Turns out that according to the lab manual, which is more current, that this characteristic, the choreo and allantoic placenta, is also shared with koalas, which are diprotodont marsupials. I'll get to them shortly. It's shared with koalas and also wombats, which are in the same order as koalas. One thing the lab manual also points out, however, is that the in utero gestation is temporally brief. It's still brief in bandicoots, despite the fact that they have a more advanced placenta. So again, here we're dealing with the order Peramelemorphia, and that's what the skull looks like. Very distinctive skull. Quite a bit different from the numbat. Let me get the numbat. I'll pull the numbat in for comparison. Now you see the 2 side by side. The bandicoot on the left and the numbat on the right. Okay, now we're going to move on to the last order of marsupial mammals, the Diprotodontia. And just by that name, right away, you know that they're going to have diprotodont dental condition. That is with the two primary incisors, one incisor on each side of the lower jaw, the dentary, being overdeveloped and pointing straight forward. So you'll be seeing a number of examples of that in the next video.